And does that, in your mind, extend to other parts of society besides, if somebody is experiencing hate or not? How about if you disagree with a certain political orthodoxy that exists in, say, a university or your, wherever you work, or is it, or do you have a responsibility to say something, even though you risk potentially losing your job without any explanation, or um, having, in some situations, I've heard grades lowered in certain colleges?
Stanley, you are asking a very difficult question, which I wrestle with all the time. I speak from a position of great security. I'm older, far along in my career. I've been a tenured professor, so with unprecedented job security, people in my position have no excuse for not speaking up. But when we talk about younger people who are less secure economically, less secure professionally, less secure as a matter of their own individual self-confidence for understandable reasons, I would never preach to somebody that they should risk their economic security, their professional reputation, or even friendships and social networks. So the part of my students, for example, they're law students. Um, uh, every survey shows that law students, other graduate students, and undergraduates, and certainly younger students, the biggest fear in their life and the biggest source of pressure is peer pressure. They are not afraid of being punished by government officials. They're not afraid of being punished by teachers or professors. They're afraid that they're going to be ostracized and stigmatized by their peers. And I would never wish on any young person that enormous unhappiness. And unfortunately, if we look at studies about the psychological problems that students are experiencing, there are record rates of depression and anxiety, and tragically, record numbers of suicides among young people. So that becomes especially incumbent on people in my position with more security to speak out on behalf of those who don't have the luxury of being relatively safe in speaking out, to do our best to try to change the culture so that these kinds of punitive responses either don't happen or aren't effective when they do happen. And certainly, if somebody does choose to speak out, which I certainly applaud, then the rest of us have a responsibility to support that person, and that is true even if we disagree with the person's perspective. But what we want to support is what I think your question got to, and that is to raise different perspectives, to dare to ask questions, even indeed, especially of the most established orthodoxies of our day. That's really ultimately our responsibility as citizens in a free society.